I love that intro.
Yeah, right? You can catch it?
It's so
Catch it,
good.
get a little dance, a little bop with it.
Yes. Welcome back to another episode of Sit Fearlessly, but this is the Industry Uncut series, okay? I have my boy Cortez back in the building.
What's up, y'all? How y'all doing?
We have to cheers for that, okay? We haven't been in the studio together in a
Been working
minute,
too
so
much.
cheers.
Ooh.
Yes,
You
yes,
got the,
yes.
You got the branded
Cheers to that. Cheers to that. And you know, cheers to us.
Absolutely.
And, you know, all the conversations that I've been having with everyone about just the climate that we're in right now and the fact that we're still getting up every day and we're still showing up for ourselves and we're still pushing through. And, you know, we're focusing on the things that are important to us and focusing on our health, right? A lot of us are having those healthy conversations. So shout out to us, man.
Big time. You said it yourself. Showing up for ourselves.
Yes.
I think a lot of us go. Like every single day you wake up, you show up for your family, you show up for your friends, you show up for your career. But the biggest thing is to make sure that you set out some time for yourself.
Yes.
Wake up every morning and know like, yo, I'm going to take care of myself today.
Absolutely. And shout out to all of our people, our listeners, our viewers, our new listeners and viewers.
Welcome.
Welcome. Who are, you know, struggling during this time. Like, we're going to dive in and we're going to talk a little bit about this, but it almost feels like it's 2020 all over again in 2026.
Oh, my gosh.
We're going through a pivotal time, so we're going to talk about that, but our hearts and everything goes out to you guys, and we're in this together, y'all. Y'all are not by yourself. It is all of us that are going through some sort of transformation, some sort of just pivot, just the confusion is all going to become clear again. We just literally have to stay locked in and focused and healthy and make sure, even though we're showing up for ourselves every day when we don't even feel like it, we still take time for ourselves at home and meditate or do whatever it is that makes us feel better.
I love it.
Yes.
I was just at a charity event supporting mental health in Westchester County.
Nice.
And, you know, to that, on a personal note, finding the clarity, going through the chaos that this world is throwing us each and every day, figuring out what's important to you and making sure that you stay true to that.
Yeah.
You know, some people who do that all the time are some that we look up to a little bit, you know. I know that you do a lot of work when it comes to uplifting women.
Yeah.
Creating roles, creating avenues and lanes for women to, you know, elevate in our industry. And I know Lil Birdie told me that Miss Alicia Keys has some phenomenal work on her hands, you know, bringing women into more production roles, going deeper than just being the pretty face who's singing the song.
Yeah. So she's been doing some great things. That was a perfect segue, yes, because I do support my ladies. I do support my women. I support men too as well, you know, but we have to just, we have to just pour into each other. So, but she is doing something amazing. So right now, y'all, she's creating access for women in music. And what does this mean? She feels like the music industry is a good old boy, right? Meaning there's more networking for men, more opportunities for men. So she's opening up the doors. Right now she's saying women only make up 2% of producers and engineers. So through her new organization, which is called She Is the Music, she's building pipelines and her team is reflecting it. She's bringing people on board like Jody Gershon, Sam Curbio, and I don't know how to pronounce her last name, but I think is Minicelli, who is a Grammy-winning engineer. So super heavy hitters, supporting women. She's building this ecosystem. I love it.
I like that you described it as an ecosystem,
Yes.
a pipeline. You know, that means that she's not just putting people into like the higher roles. She's starting from the ground level, like in the sense of education. I know that women are an underserved group of people when it comes to like STEM. And that's primarily because schools don't necessarily market it to them.
Yeah.
A lot of young ladies probably don't know that that's a lane that they can even be involved in. So having a face like Alicia Keys, having names and accolades, Grammy Award winners, showing what can happen if you just, you know, let's see what this aspect of music is, and creating the education systems to help them elevate and so that they can be behind some of the big records, the record-breaking records that we listen to every single day.
Absolutely. And I also love this because she's breaking the stereotype of gatekeeping, right? So she's opening up the doors by how you're saying, starting at the education level and just mentoring and coaching and teaching these women and carrying them through their career in those fields. I think is super, super awesome because we didn't have access to a lot of these things before, right? Even magazine publications, you know, like everything in the music industry was very, very difficult for women to tap into. Like even up until I think I know Kim Asori was talking about it earlier. Up until like I think it was 2022, there was like that's when the influx of female rappers came about.
That's
but females have been rapping for a long time.
Big time.
You know,
and I think that a lot of it does boil down to it being by design, right? And as much as you know, the faces of hip hop, of music may be a certain color. That doesn't always mean that they hold the seats and the power in certain areas. And sometimes again, that is by design. So if you have one small group already being cut out, the smaller part of that small group is going to be cut out and they're going to feel it. And it's great to see that women who have found that success can also find their voice to help others find their voice.
And there's so many young women who can take advantage of this. Like, shout out to my daughter. She actually loves engineering and production.
That's dope.
So, like, I'm going to share this with her. Like, girl, let's look into this program because this is so great. So I'm really happy about this. And I love Alicia Keys. And I think she's a huge, tremendous talent and has made a staple in our you know, in our lives and music.
I think you hit the nail on the head, too, when you mentioned access.
Yes.
Access is big. And we're in 2026. A lot of the tools that are utilized to create are accessible to people. People are building things from the ground up. We got the Sit Fearlessly Network, right? Like we're building right now. And with that said, that access is still kind of, I don't want to say it's under attack, but there are people who don't always want us to have it.
Absolutely.
And you know, we've seen it in different industries. We've seen it in entertainment, of course, but we've also kind of seen it in fashion.
Oh yeah, and we're gonna get into that a little later. Yeah, absolutely.
We got people who are really making it their job to make it difficult for others to grow. Yeah. And it's great to see voices like Alicia Keys, you know, fighting that good fight and showing, hey, look, there are other lanes that we can go. Don't just get pigeonholed into this one thing.
Right, absolutely. That's like women empowerment at its best right there. So I'm super excited because I do want to hear more, you know, voices in music of females, of women, you know, empowered, like who's the next female Kendrick, you know, I really, really want to see that. I want to hear that. And also on the production side, of course.
Oh, big time.
So I'm super excited. But you actually were alluding to something. Within the Met Gala, right?
We got some people who not so popular right now, and they have their hands in everything.
Yes.
I personally, if you guys didn't know, just break it down a little bit. Jeff Bezos, person we talking about. I personally did not know how involved he was in different events like that. Yeah. And you know, for somebody who has as much money as he does, I guess it makes sense. But to basically fund, or as others will put it, purchase the Met Gala. Right. It says something because it began to reflect his ideals. Yeah. Which if you don't know, research them, they're not pretty.
Yeah, and that's what's been the issue, right? So a lot of people are, you know, there's a lot of backlash because of that. I think he invested $10 million and he was the co-chair of the Met Gala this year. But because he also funds things like ICE and the immigration issues that we have right now, there's so much backlash behind that. Also, I believe about 30,000 employees lost their jobs in Amazon. Right. So that's been another issue, you know, and then just the fact that a lot of people were outraged because they felt like this was a moment for them, for people to boycott the Met Gala and people who have really powerful voices in the industry, right? But yet still, people like Beyonce, people like Tiana Taylor, Serena Williams, Cardi B, so many more, Ciara, so many more people still showed up to the Met Gala.
Yeah, it's tough. And let me start by, I'm not gonna apologize for different artists, but there's a fine line that they're trying to tread where they want to be relevant and on the cusp of pop culture, continue to represent, you know, the demographics that they do in these spaces. But it does suck because you look at a person like Jeff Bezos, you look at how much obscene wealth they bring in yearly.
Yeah.
To be able to fund an event like this, and then you see, well, you got that because you justified cuts that literally impacted the livelihoods of Americans everywhere.
That part. And then the fact that, you know, this is not new though.
No.
It just made headlines because it's the Met Gala. But a lot of these millionaires and billionaires, that is how they write off a lot of their money every year too, by donating to different charities, different organizations like that.
Philanthropic ventures.
Exactly. So this is not the first time that this happens. And I mean, they made it very public with him, and I believe they actually showed up as well. He showed up with his wife. But in other instances, that money is coming in. No one is talking about it and where it's coming from. Okay. But then also a lot of the issue was that they're saying that the Met Gala didn't have a lot of the marketing and buzz that it normally has.
Well, we know why.
Right, because a lot of the people in fashion that were black people, they were fired.
LGBTQ.
LGTBQ, yeah.
They all, it's basically like a purge almost.
Yeah.
And when I say that these events kind of reflected the values of the people involved, it kind of goes to show that.
Yeah.
Shout out to my boy CL. He used the word social responsibility. Now, when it comes to businesses, there used to be a massive push on social responsibility. If you understand civics at all, you know, and understanding the creation of a society, of a community, people need jobs. Those jobs usually feed into how the community is built, but in the same breath, it provides people a livelihood.
Yeah.
Now, once you start to strip away those things, you'll see communities die.
Yeah.
Like you can see in the breadbasket, we call it, of America, it used to be the factory places, right? Detroit. Detroit has plenty of communities that are now fallen and destitute simply because the factories that used to be there were outsourced to other places.
Yeah.
And the people behind that are people like Bezos, people who have obscene wealth and are really just looking for the next way to create more. Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, just everything that he's been responsible for, also like the scaling back on the DEI.
Oh my gosh.
And all these things, you know, I feel like, yes, it is not the responsibility of everyone who has a platform to speak out. I do agree with that. You do have a choice, right? But if you don't want to speak out, then maybe don't attend.
Yeah, I was going to say, how do you feel about the ice out pins that they were, I guess some celebrities were going to wear to the event? And that was kind of, I guess, spoken against on Twitter by a couple of other celebrities. They said, you can wear the pin or you could just not go.
Right. But they went and they didn't wear the pin either.
Oof.
So
yeah.
There we go. But listen, I think that conversation is going to continue to get deeper because a lot of people were really outraged about this.
Oh yeah. And you know, when you hear about actual testimonials from an Amazon employees,
exactly.
You know, you see some of the protests. If I can just entertain you a little bit.
Yeah.
People were putting bottles of fake urine all over the venue and different things to symbolize the fact that Amazon employees aren't given enough time for bathroom breaks and have to pee in bottles and leave the bottles over factory.
It's crazy. And also the gentleman, I forgot his name, he created a labor union because of his layoff from Amazon. He also made a huge statement, like right across the street from Jeff Bezos' penthouse. He had a hologram, not a hologram, a projected image of himself talking about the situation. So they really were out loud, speaking out loud, in force, yes.
And then a lot of those same people who were cut from the fashion industry, they were able to put on a Ballin' Without Billionaires fashion show.
Right.
Which I think was an amazing statement. Because, you know, if you're truly into fashion, don't get me wrong, the Met Gala still had the glitz, the glamour, it still had those, you know, the Versace gowns and things that there. But seeing the creativity, the involvement, it was so great.
But it was lost at the Met Gala.
Oh, it was lost at the Met Gala.
I didn't even know what the theme was. I'm going to be honest. I couldn't understand it. So, you know, because not only people in the fashion industry lost their jobs, and that's why it didn't make a lot of noise, but people in PR and marketing, our culture in PR and marketing, you know, so it diluted what the Met Gala has been for the past decade.
Yeah. And it sucks because, again, you see these hands getting involved in things and stripping away access. Again, the beautiful thing is you have the Ballin' Without Billionaires thing showing that so long as you have creativity, you have togetherness, you can create your own platform. And I do think that this is still one of the greatest times to be a creator. Some of the greatest times to get into any industry you want and to chase your dreams, because a lot of people are creating their own platforms in different ways.
Exactly. And we need to keep the invested in our own people. We need to keep that alive.
Absolutely.
Like the venture capitalists, you know, because I know there's been a few that they've been trying to take them down, like the Fearless Fund, for example, saying that she was discriminatory because she was only funding women of color, you know, women businesses of color and things like that. But we need to keep that alive, because just like we have people investing in the Met Gala that don't look like us and are trying to take us out and take away the access, we need to fund our people.
Yes.
Yes.
And
our
not
people's
do it
businesses.
unapologetically.
Exactly. Well, whew, that was a lot. But we do have somebody like Issa Rae.
Yes. Yes.
Who is showing up for the culture as always and doing things different. And I love what she's doing, because this is where she comes from. She started with her YouTube series before she made it big. And so now she took this approach and she started a new network called Hoorae.
Yes.
All right, which I love the name too. It's
great,
like,
right?
So,
you see
what?
The
it's so creative.
Yeah. We see you, Issa.
We see you, Issa. Yeah. And if you need some extras, we're here.
Yo, I was always watching Insecure. You know what I'm saying? I do a read right now.
Yes. I think we will be perfect for that because, you know, we're kind of quirky. I know I am. So I'm here if you need me.
She's the coolest on the weekends. You should see it.
But Hoorae Network, she cut a deal with TikTok.
Yeah.
Which is great. I mean, TikTok.
Groundbreaking.
Everyone is on TikTok. Everyone has a short attention span because of TikTok.
We have from the Vine era to all of these YouTube shorts now. Oof. It's all over.
Yeah, so I think this is like amazing, and they're calling it vertical video feed, right? Because we're watching everything on screen vertically and in a short period of time. And it's still originally scripted, which is great. So the first series, I believe, is called Screen Time, and it's free, and because it's supported by ads. So I love it, and I think their slogan was "Built the way people actually watch content today."
That's so great. It speaks to so many things. I don't know if you're one of those people who caught up in these AI fruit dramas.
Oh gosh, I've seen them.
Yo, I don't want to give it too much, but it gets spicy. It gets spicy.
It does.
But I will tell you that there's definitely room for it. There's a market for it. People want to see the dramas, and if you've seen Insecure, if you've seen any of Issa's work, you know that she pays attention to detail. She knows how to speak to the culture. I can't wait to see it.
You know what I love about this? Anybody who's a creative out there, any of you videographers that are creating short films, things like that, this is literally your like rapid way in right now.
It's like an invitation right now.
Yes, for you to like literally blow up with these TikTok shorts. Like definitely get into that space, y'all. But that's what I love about it. It's like, so love and hate it for me because I'm a creative. So now I'm like, oh my God. How can I maximize off of this? How can I create my own TikTok short?
She's writing a script right now. I know. I saw you jotting down before we got all set.
In my head, like, oh my God, let's go. But no, this is so great, and I'm so happy for her, and she's jumping on the inevitable bandwagon because this is literally where we are. I think that people, especially our younger youth, they're watching more TikTok than they're watching TV at this point.
Most definitely.
So, yeah.
I mean, we spoke about it a couple episodes ago when Bad Bunny was moving into the space for streaming.
Yes.
We've seen that. It's changed. The way people watch things is different. Even feature films are no longer, I mean, they might return to theaters, but feature films get better ratings as YouTube series or Netflix series than they would in a theater. You know, it just goes to show that maybe the way that people give content and deliver it needs to be rethought. And it seems like Issa's first there.
Crazy, right?
That's great, though.
Well, listen. Let's move on.
Okay.
To Spirit Airlines.
Oh my God.
I know we're a tiny bit late talking about this. However, we still wanted to address it because this was insane. It affected so many people, including my sister, because she was supposed to travel. And all of a sudden at 2 a.m., it's like, Spirit is no longer an airline. Like, what? So here's a little backstory, right? So Spirit Airlines shuts down after the White House rescue deal falls through. Republicans hate this airline because, allegedly, it allows low-income folks to fly. So, competing, also it was causing competition between pricing within the different airlines.
That's the big one.
Yes, because the other airlines charge what they charge, and Spirit Airlines was like, no, $50, you can go to Florida.
Go to Florida, right.
Right. So, they wanted Spirit to go away, allegedly. But the positives about Spirit is they never had a fatal flight conflict.
No.
Nothing like that ever happened. We were able to travel, to afford travel and get around. And then they were even also saying that some of the turbulence was like created on purpose so that people could be deflected away from flying Spirit. Yeah. And then the last thing was Spirit said no for their airline to be used
as military.
As military.
Yeah, military
Correct.
Transport. Yes.
So what?
So a couple of things. let me unpack a couple things for y'all because that exposes so much.
Yes.
If you understand business, we know that competition, it can hurt depending on what side of it you're on. Now they did a study where there was a flight path. I believe it was from like Kansas to somewhere in the Northeast. And at that point when I think it was American Airlines was the only person flying it, was about $300 so. The moment Spirit started fly that same service, that same area, and they were only charging like 90, it forced American Airlines to drop their prices to about 180.
Yeah.
Imagine that on the scale of a national perspective. These places hated Spirit.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that you guys have seen it change your flights, vacation times change, vacation prices change because of that. Without that competition, say what you want about Spirit. Like you said, they had a track record that was impeccable.
Yes.
Not one fatal crash, nothing. And you said the turbulence was manufactured.
Yes.
She means the online turbulence,
Correct.
right?
Correct.
So though some people are calling it, use a fancy word here, psyop, a little bit of some clever marketing to make you focus on the fights,
exactly,
the bad customer service, all of the things that may deter people away from the airline just to make it look bad.
Yeah.
But
listen, Spirit wasn't the greatest, but I appreciated Spirit. Even though they had their moments where they would cancel flights or they were delayed and things like that, they would accommodate you so well.
Yeah.
Like they would give you vouchers for hotels. They would give you vouchers for meals. They would switch your flight if you wanted. If you just like, listen, I can't go to Florida, fine. Take me to Texas. What's the next flight? They would accommodate you. So I was like really, really upset about this.
As you should be. Like you said, you had family that was ready to fly. And not everybody has the money to, it's
Some
bad
people have
enough.
4 kids they have to travel with.
And you look at these situations, it's graduation season.
Right.
Families trying to go see other family members can no longer do that.
Yeah.
Simply because the accessibility is no longer there through Spirit Airlines.
Again, the accessibility.
That's what it is. Oof. It's an attack on that.
Well, listen, we got about 5 minutes, but let's try to talk through this really quickly.
Sure.
But the war on voting. Let's close out with this.
We talking
First and foremost, everybody, please, please, please get out to vote.
Yeah.
I know a lot of us feel so discouraged at this point, and like our voices aren't being heard, and like all of the risk and the way that our people put themselves on the front lines, like Martin Luther King Jr., which I believe is also his birthday today. He was supposed to be 101 years old, so happy birthday to the legend, the great Martin Luther King, you know, but all of these things that these people fought for us for, now they're trying to turn it back around, okay? And this is not right. So it started with Tennessee, right, and the Republican legislation, where they passed a new congressional map that eliminates the state's only majority black district. So they basically redistricted everything so that now the black majority doesn't even have power to vote. Okay, it started there and it trickled down to other states. This is really, really scary.
Big time. One thing that I have to say is make sure that you guys are educating yourself on your voting rights.
Yes.
Because I think a lot of this is done because we don't understand what's even being taken away from us.
Correct.
Through gerrymandering, through redlining, redrawing of districts.
Yes.
A lot of people don't understand that when you have a voting district, a lot of that is determined by the people who make it up.
Yeah.
By splitting that up, now instead of an 100%, you know, minority in this district that now has voting power to get somebody in office who's going to advocate for us, you now have 25% here, 25% here, 25% here, 25% here, all getting watered down, overshadowed, and outvoiced by demographics that couldn't care less about the interests of you and your families.
Exactly. And this has been happening for a long time, let me tell you. This is not the first time that they are redistricting, remapping the voting and things like that. So we really need to stay on top of it and really stay informed on what's going on. And if we are the kind of person that wants to speak out, please do, because this is very important. I did see some folks that were marching down Selma. You know, and it's just so disheartening right now, because it's like you said, this is all a part of the access they're trying to take away from us.
Big time.
All a part of it. So I don't even know. It scares me sometimes. Sometimes I'm like, maybe I need to just leave here. But before I do, I'm going to make sure that I at least share information. And that's what we're here to do.
Yeah. And so that said, right, there's the bigger things of them actually passing bills to change voting structure. Even things like closing polls, balloting sites, redrawing those, resetting up those. Please pay attention to those. You have representatives right now. This is probably the best time you will ever have. Contact those administrative people. Contact your councilmen, your aldermen, your senators, your congressmen. Contact them all and let them know, like, hey, we're paying attention and we're looking to you. We voted you in. Please be our voice and fight for us here, because look, you may not get in office again if they have it their way.
Exactly, exactly. And I do want to mention the New York City mayor, because I do want to commend him for abolishing the ICE situation here in New York, and, you know, trying his best to make the housing better for us. I know they just also opened up a supermarket, which is going to have like government regulated pricing.
Nice.
You know, things like that. So definitely, you know, like Cortez says, stay on top of who is in office right now in your immediate community, because they are fighting for us, y'all. They are fighting for us right now.
Yeah, shout out to Mondani too, because he's done massive things too.
Yeah.
Not just in the ICE situation, but just overall New York's financial standing.
Yes.
I think like this is
that was impressive.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
The way that he's taken charge of that and created spaces where now we can try to move towards more affordable housing situations and just generally taking the cost of living down a little bit.
Yeah, he targeted the debt, which is what we needed to do. So I commend him as well. But we're not done yet, guys. We're coming back with part 2, okay? We're just going to take a little break right now. But thank you guys for watching Sit Fearlessly and our segment, Industry Uncut, with my boy Cortez, all right? So I hope you guys have been watching all the episodes. Make sure you stay tapped in. Follow me at Sue Fearless, at Sit Fearlessly. Cortez, where can they follow you?
C-Tez Music, Q Vision, we everywhere. Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.